Hi there. As the man said, I'm Michael Hill. I'm the ND of Radioplayer. Radioplayer is a partnership between the BBC and commercial radio. And we exist to grow listening on things that are connected to the internet. We started about 18 months ago with a version of Radioplayer for desktop computers, a pop-up player. That had some success, so we've decided to move on to mobile, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, the next chapter in our story. Now, in entering the new platform of mobile, we were very conscious of the new challenges and three particular things. One, we wanted to complement, not compete with, but complement the existing radio apps that are out there. Two, we wanted to give you control. When someone is listening to your station in the Radioplayer app, we want you to dictate that user experience. And I'll talk to you about that a bit more in a minute. And the third thing, we're top of mind always in Radioplayer, user experience. We want the user to have a brilliant, enjoyable, tactile, visual experience. So this is the first time I've shown the mobile app beyond the partners and the 50 or so beta testers that are out there at the moment. So this is definitely a sneak preview of work in progress. It's just about to launch. Please don't take any photos of the screen. A bit like Tony earlier from Absolute, I'd rather you didn't photograph the screen, but feel free to tweet, blog, post, chat about it all you like. So here's a quick run-through of the app. What I'm going to show you is the iOS version for Apple devices, Android following shortly. This is what it looks like for a first-run user, someone coming to it for the first time. You can search at the top, or you can scroll. There's infinite canvas of all our radio stations. Very interactive, very tactile. You can tap to see what's on. Now, in our user testing, most older people went straight for the search box. Most younger people scrolled the canvas. We're going to type in a search for Absolute. Same search algorithm as works on the desktop. So you get the same list of stations, straight into Absolute Radio. Stream starts. Now, this is a pull-down. I'll show you what it's lying on top of in a minute, but it enables you to do several things. You can swipe sideways to get catch-up from that station if they're offering it. You can also tap that to add the station to your favorites. So what we'll do, having seen the station screen, we'll go into the menu. This is the kind of hub of the whole app. Search box at the top, last listen to and favorites next, and then three main navigation options. We'll hit live radio, alphabetical list of all radio stations into 6 music. Stream starts again. We'll just pull down and set it as our favorite. You can see what's on any station there as well. You can also share on Twitter. It will automatically put in the name of what you're listening to, or Facebook. So head back to the main menu screen. I'll show you the second big option here, recommended. Now, this is where it gets kind of algorithmically interesting. So I'm going to pause here. James, if you could just pause the video here for a moment, please. That's lovely. So I'm just going to go into slightly more depth in 2 areas as we go through the video. This is the first. And I have a very, very bad memory, so I've brought a really classy bag of props with me to remind me what goes on here. So there are 4 factors that are currently influencing the recommended area. There can be many more, and we can iterate this over time, but currently there are 4. So this is a map, and that's to remind me the first factor is localness. What we do is, with every station in Radioplayer, we have a polygon in our system which denotes their geographical area, and we know where your phone is. If your phone's in the polygon, you're local. So that's the first score. Second out of the bag is a ruler. So this is to remind me to talk about trending. What we do is every 5 minutes, we take a data point, a snapshot of every single station in Radioplayer on desktop and on mobile, and we look at their listening. Are they tuning in? Are people tuning in? Are people tuning out? We run a rolling average like this of that listening, and if a station is obviously like that, going below their rolling average, they're not trending, but if they're like that, for 2 data points in a row, we say they are trending. So this is helping us to bubble up things like starts of big programs, starts of football matches, events happening on certain stations. It's a really interesting algorithm. Third thing out of the bag, third factor in recommended is a clock to denote history. We look at what you're listening to in the app, and we bubble things up that we think you might be interested in. It's a bit of an Amazon-style algorithm that we're working on at the moment. Other people who liked this also liked. So that comes into recommended as well. And the fourth item is catch up. Throughout the app, we're sprinkling little bits of catch up throughout the app. You saw it from the station perspective earlier. We also sprinkle it into the recommended. So if you could start the video again, please, there, James. What we'll do is spin through. We'll choose some Capital London. In we go. Now, I'm going to talk again in a bit more detail now about what you're seeing here on the station screen. If you could pause it there, please, James. So this is the second bit of detail I want to go into. It's very important to you guys. This is how I said earlier, you can affect a user's experience in our app. When a user is listening to your radio station, 75% of the screen is entirely at your disposal. This is what they call a web view. It's basically a web page that you can host, a bundle of HTML, very simple to create. You can put it on a URL on your systems, and you can pull into that video, audio, text, images, ads, whatever you want. The really clever thing is this is not just a dumb web view. There is a really clever bridge between the app and the web view built of JavaScript, which can pass information from the app into the web view. So you can know where the user's phone is, how long the user's been listening to you, even what their battery life is, if you wish. And you can build widgets in this space for your own radio station while someone's listening to you. So this is where we think that there can be room for innovation and iteration and personalization by you guys, by radio stations. And we're going to run some more hack days as well to get the best developers and designers in the business together and to work out what stations could do in this space. If you could just run the video again, please, James. So that's the web view, 75% of the screen up to you. This is the default web view that the app comes loaded with, by the way. So what we'll do now is we'll add Capital as a favorite as well. We'll head back to the main menu and we'll talk about the last section, which is catch up. Here you can browse chronologically by last ingested or by categories. So this is all about on-demand audio, and we'll just hit a bit of Fun Kids. As soon as a podcast plays, you can navigate back out of that podcast to the live stream using the right-hand top button, Listen Live. So now we're into Fun Kids live stream. And what we'll do is we'll add that to our presets as well, because Fun Kids is a brilliant radio station. And then we'll head back to the main menu and we'll just look at the very last feature on the main menu I want to show you, which is these sliders of logos up here. So tapping one reveals what's on right now. That's your last listen to. Favorites on the right. If you leave it for 2 seconds, it resets to here so you can always see that. This puts it into edit mode, a long press, and I'm afraid I'm going to remove Fun Kids. I've now fallen out of love with it. And that is it, really. That is the Radioplayer app. It's very, very simple to the user. It's very powerful to your stations, I hope, because you can do great stuff in that station web view. And we really want your input now on how to make it better. This is very much V1 of this app. As we launch, we're going to innovate and iterate. Please feel free to come and find me. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me how you think we can build on it. Think about what you can do in that web view, in that station web view for your radio stations that's innovative and different. And thank you very much for listening.
Really good session, and great to see the demo of the new mobile app for Radioplayer, which is a really exciting development. Getting it onto the mobile phone just takes us to the whole next level. I was talking to Mike during the lunch break, and he said they'd focused on the user experience as a really key thing, and that came through in the walkthrough that he did.
It's been a great day, lots of good people to talk to, lots of good people to listen to, and lots of good things.